Zero and Amy K. As judgy as people as we can be, there's one thing that, generally speaking, very, very few people, only about 3% of people in a survey said that they have actually been willing to do, and that is completely 100% stiff a server. You went out to eat, you left no tip whatsoever. People will be passive-aggressive and they'll leave little tips, but very few people are willing to leave nothing.
That's why I think to leave nothing is wild. I think you might go down on percent. Is it that bad? But I don't even know if there's been a time where it's been that bad, and I think I still just tip.
Which begs the question. Okay, so knowing so few of us have done this, can you come up with a situation in your life or just in general where you're like, yes, it is okay to have 100% stiffed them? I think they'd have to dump food on your head on purpose for me to be willing to leave literally nothing.
But why are they dumping food on your head? What has happened in this scenario on purpose?
I hate bald people and rub pudding on my head. Yes, I won't tip you. I really don't think there's anybody where I've left literally nothing.
I've had food spilled on me. A bowl of hot soup was spilled on me.
And you still were like,
and I
they
still
didn't do it on
tipped.
purpose,
Obviously,
right?
yeah, they didn't do that on purpose. But
Probably.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. I think there's been times where we've even been forgotten about and we still tip. You're so busy that you forgot about us. It's always the benefit of the doubt.
I've in fact been with somebody that has, friend or whatever, family member that has been trying to do the passive aggressive, let me leave some change or $1 thing, and I've been so annoyed by that then I leave and overcompensate for them. So no, I can't relate to the concept at all.
At least I don't think I have. I am not sure. I don't think I ever have.
Honestly, that's probably, for me, the most justifiable answer. You truly just forgot.
If there was something so bad that, yeah. Oh, you mean...
you just forgot to leave it. That's the only reason I can think that
but
you
how?
would do that. And then maybe a day later you go, oh my God, I don't think we tipped.
There have been times where I'm so worried about it that I wonder if I should go back and should I have left more money?
Because you're doing the math in your head and you take out the calculator.
Did I do that right? And then you're thinking about it later and you're like, should I have actually left more?
Is it ever okay to 100% stiff the server? 237. It's call, text, voice memo. What you've seen so far, Amy K.
Someone said they've done it once, and I still think about it because we sat there for almost 30 minutes before anyone even acknowledged us. Then our food took forever. Our drinks were always empty. The server just disappeared. I'm not expecting 5-star service, but we basically had to beg for everything. If you can't even just do your normal basics, I don't think you deserve a tip.
When is it okay to totally stiff the server?
I think it's okay to stiff a waiter if they are not doing their job properly and they're not nice to you and the service isn't good. It doesn't arrive on time or, there's a problem. They're not very kind.
So, okay, are they doing something, though, or are you holding them responsible for things that they don't actually control?
That's what I think.
Some of the food taking a while stuff, they can only do so much when it comes to that. They're
Some
not the
of
one
that,
making it.
yeah, it has to do with the kitchen. Is the kitchen backed up? Or did your server forget to put your food in? When I was serving, someone stiffed me. And it's even worse because they paid with $100, and so I had to ask the manager at the time for change, which is currently my husband. Okay. So I had to ask Steven to break the 100. He just gave me the full 100 now in change, and he wanted me to do the math. He used to just do it for me, and he'd be like, put this in your book, give this to the customer. This time he was busy, so he just gave me all the 100. So I gave all the change to the person.
You tipped him.
I tipped them. I gave them the full amount back, just in different bills. You know what they did? On their bill, they wrote me their Snapchat and said, add me on Snapchat. And they didn't even tip me, and they got more money from me. That was the worst experience.
That's a great deal for them, though.
For sure.
Great
They
deal.
made money and got free food.
Probably thought you were hitting on them or something.
How? And then at least give me a tip.
That's true. Yeah. I guess if you think that, you're going to be like, and here's some money.
Someone said if the server is rude to me personally, I'm not tipping. I'm not talking about forgetting ketchup or ranch. I mean rolling their eyes, being nasty, talking down to me, making comments about my family. At that point, why am I rewarding that? Has that ever happened? Because that person probably shouldn't be serving.
Well, that's probably where we're going to get a lot of these stories, too, from, like, that end of things, like the situation where people did stiff you, like if you were on the serving end, like, and you figure out why that happened.
I don't know
Kinda
why
like
I
your
got stiffed.
situation, yeah. You
If
have no
anything,
idea.
I should have got money. It was a large group of people, too, and I feel like I was doing pretty good.
I truly don't think I've ever done it before. I don't think I've left literally nothing. Yeah, maybe at like a smaller one that I'm usually comfortable with because I'm just like, this was awful, but nothing. No, I don't think ever anything.
I'm even thinking of like getting to-go orders. Even with to-go orders, I tip a couple dollars.
Some of these random things now that we're like, this is a place you tip now, where it's just like they randomly shove the screen in your face and it's like, do you want a tip? That I'm okay saying no, because some of these places I'm like, I don't think I normally would have tipped here.
There's something I recently did where I had a service done, but then I bought a bunch of extra things.
Mm-hmm.
And so that made my price go way up because the extra things I bought that they really had nothing to do with. I just had to grab some things off the shelf. And then it made me question. I even called my mother-in-law because I was like, this is how much it would have been. But then I added all this and I'm like, should I have tipped more? And I thought about going back.
And she's saying, you're good.
Well, she was like, this is actually the percent you left. And then it almost made me question, like, I need to go back.
But
But I think with
Here's
the
more
products,
money.
with the products, I don't think that should have counted towards the total.
Is it ever okay to 100% completely stiff a server? No tip at all. When has this happened to you? When have you actually left nothing? Both of the above.
Someone said I worked in restaurants, so I always tip. I know how much servers put up with. Customers can be unbelievably rude, and sometimes the server gets blamed for things they have absolutely no control over. And another person said, I didn't tip once when I bit into a deep fried pickle, and there was a piece of plastic in there. My server didn't believe me and made it seem like I put the plastic in there. Later, the manager did confirm it was plastic from their pickle buckets.
Rody.
That is gross. Someone else said, I got stiffed because I wouldn't let a customer bring their own alcohol into the restaurant. I argued with him for about 10 minutes, and then he told me, well, you just lost your tip. And I remember thinking, I'm just following the law.
Is it ever okay to totally stiff a server?
I think you should always leave at least a couple bucks. Like, if you only leave a couple bucks and they've had to bust their ass, but they've just been terrible anyways, they're going to get the point. But to just not leave anything, it's kind of tacky, and I've been a server, so, I understand. And being a server is kind of hard work, You may have just dealt with an ass right before that table. So, leaving nothing is pretty tacky, in my opinion.
Agreed, I think. Agreed.
Someone said, I was at a restaurant with a medium-sized group. It was a slow night in the restaurant. Our drinks were always empty. Food came to the table cold. She forgot to take my food order. I had drinks and left. And someone else said, I have very few times. One, the server was openly racist to us. The other, they were making homophobic comments to my friend. And another person said, I once had a table tell me I was the best server they ever had. I was so attentive, and they kept complimenting me. Their bill was around $90, and they left me a handwritten note that said great service and left $0. I actually laughed because what else could you do?
Like, what?
This is giving me a flashback. I had something like that happen to me, and it was like either
hang
like
hang on. I can help you with this. Hang on. You said you're having a flashback?
flashback. It was either like a Mother's Day or a Father's Day. I remember it was a Sunday and we were kind of busy, and that I had a table. It was a large table, and they kept saying how great of a server I was. And then I got the bill and I was pumped because I was like, I bet you they're going to leave something good. They literally wrote, thank you for your service. Like I was in like the army or something.
You're
that was
a
it.
restaurant veteran.
Yeah, that was it. Thank you for your service.
That's sad.
Also, I remember Sundays used to be kind of bad with the church group because they wouldn't leave tips. They would just leave like little like mini Bibles.
Yeah.
They did mini Bibles or like these little mini Jesus paid for our sin things. Or sometimes they would give you this like fake money. There were people that would do that and it had like Trump on it. Or there were people that would do the fake money and it was like fake Jesus money.
What are you supposed to do with that?
I don't read it every day and be grateful that you're alive.
Well, that's nice. But can I buy anything with it?
No.
That's a shame.
Yes.
Well, I suppose that crowd's probably also older, too. So, like, they're probably also leaving, like, hard candies. Here's a Werther's Original. Thanks for your
Keep
time
that.
today. Thank you.